It'll change, hopefully,
right?
yeah.
All right, so if you needed a reminder to take that daily allergy pill, the pollen level at the region is at an all-time high across Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas today, and it's only going to get worse.
Meteorologist Sabrina Bates explains how the weather can affect allergies in this week's Science with Sabrina.
It's time for this week's Science with Sabrina, presented by Sylvan Learning.
With fall weather on the horizon, you probably want to roll down your car windows. But that might not be the best idea since pollen's already starting to spread all throughout the air. We're seeing a trend of seasonal ragweed pollen increasing as well. Now, what's the science behind that? Ragweed pollen ramps up in late summer and continues through October. It happens at the same time our local weather really begins to change, and your allergies become worse because of that change. A single plant can produce up to 1 billion pollen grains. These tiny grains are so lightweight that they're able to fly through the air very easily. Here's an example to show you. I put loose glitter on a plate with nothing holding it down. That's representing the pollen. Now I try to represent a windy day. Obviously, the pollen is blown around in the air. Next, I set more loose glitter on a plate. But this time, I spray it with water to represent humid or rainy conditions. When we represent wind the second time, there's no glitter spreading around. The beginning of ragweed allergy season is typically humid and warm. Because of that, you may not be sneezing as much, even though that pollen count is fairly high. Now let's fast forward a few weeks into the later part of October. This is where the air becomes a lot less humid, the temperatures overnight drop below 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and the days could also get a little bit breezy. This is when your allergies really start to kick into gear. As you can see in today's experiment, rainy days are when your allergies aren't as bad because pollen isn't flying around as much, at least rather than on a sunny day. And that's it for this week's lesson, learning about science where you live. I'm 5 News meteorologist Sabrina Bates.
Ragweed pollen slowly dies off once the weeds stop growing from the first frost, but thankfully we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, when's that, 2020?
Yeah, I know, that's what it feels like. I noticed the ragweed was really tall this weekend. In fact, I was driving around and my son's like, oh, those are pretty. I'm like, that's ragweed.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's
stay away
good.
from that
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
You shake that thing, it's going to poof.
What's the big tree that has the white flowers?